Would you like to know absolutely everything about the nuances related to obtaining a residence permit in Turkey, its advantages and practical use? For the first time in Turkey, you'll find all questions about residence permits in one place. Subscribe if you haven't yet, and let's go. In the description below, you can see which questions are covered in this video and use the time code to rewatch the information you need. If the question you're interested in isn't covered in this video, check out the answers in the playlist about residence permits. It will be updated, or write your question in the comments, we will respond to it. And now, residence permit FAQ, competent and structured. Part 1, answered by an expert with a quarter-century of experience. In his responses, we'll find concentrated knowledge of the Tolerance Agency regarding the laws and their application in Turkey. Why is a Turkish residence permit needed? How does it differ from a visa?
Turkey is a very open country, and entering here is no problem for foreigners. People from most countries receive a visa right at the border, and it's free, but visa valid only for a short period. To stay in Turkey for more than 90 days, you need to apply for a residence permit. In Turkish, it is called ikamet izni. It is issued by the Turkish Immigration Service, which also determines the duration of this permit. And it's not just about being allowed to stay in Turkey. A residence permit also opens up other opportunities that are not available to ordinary travelers. For example, with a residence permit, you can obtain a genuine non-tourist SIM card, open an account at any bank or cryptocurrency exchange, and get a full-fledged bank card. You can also register utility payments or internet services in your name. A residence permit simplifies the registration and operation of a business in Turkey. You can freely enter and exit the country without obtaining a visa. With a residence permit, you can obtain proper health insurance, enroll your children in school or university, visit museums at a lower cost, and acquire a Turkish driver's license. You have 2 years of driving a foreign car and many other benefits. And most importantly, legally live in Turkey for several months or years and lawfully extend your stay. And if you do this for a long time, it is a path to obtaining a permanent residence permit or even Turkish citizenship. When purchasing real estate in Turkey with us, the Tolerance Homes company offers free professional support in obtaining a residence permit. Our website has a dedicated section for this, which can be accessed via the link below this video. Our clients are almost guaranteed to receive a residence permit. We ensure reliability and comfort at every stage.
There are many types of residence permits in Turkey. Let's list them.
In Turkey, there are several types of residence permits for foreign citizens, each designed for specific purposes and reasons. You can obtain the type of residence permit that suits your specific situation. The short-term residence permit is called Kısa Dönem İkamet İzni. It is issued on several grounds. First, this is the acquisition of real estate. Foreigners who purchase property in Turkey, along with their families, including children under 18, can obtain a residence permit for 1 or 2 years with the possibility of extension. After 5 years of living in Turkey with this type of residence permit and fulfilling other additional conditions, the property owner and holder of this type of residence permit can apply for Turkish citizenship. Second, these are for tourism purposes. The basis for obtaining such a residence permit can be renting property or making long-term hotel reservations to stay in Turkey beyond the visa-free period. Third, business and commercial connections. In the case of conducting business or establishing commercial relationships, entrepreneurs planning to create jobs in Turkey and invest in its economy can expect to receive a residence permit. Fourth basis, participation in educational programs, courses, seminars, or language schools. Another reason, this is participation in exchange programs and scientific research. It is issued based on an agreement between countries. A residence permit can also be obtained for long-term treatment in Turkish hospitals. The hospital must invite you. The patient should not have any dangerous infectious diseases. In addition to the short-term residence permit, there are several other types. For example, a separate category is the family residence permit. In Turkish, aile ikamet izni. This applies to spouses, minor children, dependents, citizens of Turkey, or those foreigners who already have a valid residence permit. The applicant must have a financial guarantor, either a Turk or a residence permit holder who must confirm their readiness to cover expenses if necessary. There is also a student residence permit for foreigners enrolled in full-time higher education programs at accredited Turkish universities. This residence permit is issued for a period of 1 to 4 years and can be extended. And upon expulsion from the university, it is annulled. There is also a humanitarian residence permit. It is granted in exceptional cases, such as during conflicts or when there are human rights violations in the applicant's home country. There is also a special residence permit issued to individuals who have become victims of human trafficking for the duration of their cooperation with the authorities. There is also a long-term residence permit. It can be granted to foreigners who have continuously resided in Turkey for at least 8 years, based on a residence permit and meeting certain requirements. This type of residence permit is also called permanent residency. The specific category of your residence permit will be indicated on your card. A special letter designation is used there. We have compiled a list of such designations on our website in the Frequently Asked Questions About Residence Permits section. You can view it via the direct link in the description below the video or in a special video in our playlist on types of residency. Understanding these designations is useful because the type of residence permit determines the opportunities available to a person in Turkey.
And how does one obtain a residence permit when purchasing property in Turkey?
Obtaining a residence permit through real estate purchase involves several stages. The first step is selecting a suitable property. You should remember that the selected property must meet several important criteria, from cadastral value to location. Our specialists provide detailed consultations to clients on every nuance. After completing the transaction, you receive a tapu. It's a document confirming your ownership rights to the property. Then, you need to gather a set of documents to obtain a residence permit. This is a printed application form for each applicant, biometric photographs, the foreign passport and its copy, a copy of the tapu, and a statement from the major office about your property address. It is called numarataj. Also, you'll need a medical insurance policy, a receipt for the payment of state duty, a bank statement, and additional documents for family members. Then, the application should be submitted. It is filled out on the Turkish Immigration Services website, separately for each applicant. The application should include passport details, insurance policy number, phone number, and a biometric photo in digital form. After completing the form, you are prompted to select the nearest migration service office and schedule an appointment. Sometimes it is assigned automatically. After submitting the application, you cannot leave the country if your visa-free stay has expired. On the appointed date, you must appear at the migration service in the branch that was chosen when submitting the application. This visit cannot be skipped. Everyone for whom applications have been submitted must be present, even infants. You need to bring documents, photographs, and applications with you. When your residence permit is approved, the card called ikamet will be sent to you by mail. The delivery time ranges from a few weeks to 2 to 3 months. It is important to act promptly to obtain a residence permit, avoid errors in the application, and gather a complete set of documents. Otherwise, the application will be cancelled. Our company, Tolerance Homes, unlike many other agencies, professionally assists with the preparation of document packages. Applicants for residence permits are accompanied by licensed attorneys, and I emphasize that for the client, this assistance is completely free, guaranteed by the result.
How much should real estate in Turkey cost for its owner to obtain a residence permit?
The minimum property value for a residence permit, starting from December 1st, 2024, is determined by the relevant ministry and may change. Currently, it is $200,000. In some areas, the issuance of initial residence permits for foreigners is completely closed. Important that obtaining a Turkish residence permit through real estate, regardless of the purchase amount, will still be possible through the courts if you purchased real estate before November 30th, 2024, and it is located in an open area. It must be a space suitable for living, meaning an apartment, villa, or flat suitable for permanent residence. When submitting the application, they may require documents on the appraised value of the property. You can also obtain a tourist residence permit based on the purchase of real estate, regardless of the amount of purchase.
What does an open district mean?
These are the districts in Turkey where foreigners can obtain a residence permit. Because some areas were so popular with foreigners that, according to the authorities, there were too many of them there. And in the year 2022, such areas were declared closed for obtaining a primary residence permit. This means that it has become almost impossible for new foreign arrivals to obtain a residence permit. But there are exceptions. If the certificate of ownership was issued before July 1st, 2022, or if a foreigner has a child, then it could bring you a residence permit for family reunification. Or if a foreigner is studying at a university in a restricted area, in these cases, it is still possible to obtain a residence permit there. And if you have a valid residence permit in a restricted area, you will be able to extend it and even change your address within that area. For example, when purchasing another property, this means that the restriction does not apply to previous owners, and they can extend their residence permit there. Newcomers, on the other hand, have to settle in other areas, which are referred to as open. The list of closed areas can be found on the Migration Services website. Currently, the official list includes 1,162 districts. For example, these are popular neighborhoods among foreigners in Alanya, Mahmutlar, Kargiçak, Kestel, and Avsala, as well as the districts of Antalya, Liman, Hurma, and Sarisu, and so on. However, every city has open areas, and you can always find a suitable property everywhere. Overall, choosing the right area is crucial for hassle-free legal living in Turkey.
Where to get help with residency questions?
The Migration Service provides help in obtaining a residence permit in Turkey. This is the main authority issuing residence permits. You can directly contact her local office for information and document submission, or do so on her official website. Consulates in Turkey abroad should also assist, although applications are not currently accepted abroad. However, you can obtain information at the consulate about the process of obtaining a residence permit and the necessary documents for it. The Tolerance Real Estate Agency also assists with purchasing property in Turkey. Our experienced specialists possess up-to-date knowledge of the current regulations for obtaining a residence permit and are ready to provide comprehensive support at all stages, from property selection to the preparation of necessary documents for the migration authorities. We offer our real estate clients free services for obtaining a residence permit, including document preparation and interview support in a migration office.
How the Tolerance Homes can assist in obtaining a residence permit.
Our support will be comprehensive and free for a client purchasing an apartment through the Tolerance Agency. Our lawyers will be with you every step of the way, ensuring professionalism and a positive outcome. The Tolerance team will assist at all stages of the process, from the initial consultation to submitting applications to the migration office and obtaining a residence permit card. We will also tell about potential changes in legislation and the timelines for application review. Our experts will clarify the current requirements, assist in gathering the complete set of necessary documents, and correctly fill out the application for a residence permit. We will find a suitable property, ensure the legal integrity of the transaction, and assist in registering the ownership rights. We not only consider your preferences, but also offer options that are perfectly suited for obtaining a residence permit, taking into account the current legal restrictions. We have thousands of clients from dozens of countries around the world who have moved to Turkey with their families. They know the competence and expertise of Tolerance Homes. By contacting Tolerance Homes, you will receive a professional and personalized approach, allowing you to significantly simplify the process of obtaining a residence permit in Turkey and save your time and effort.
This is only the first part of the answers to frequently asked questions about Turkish residency permits. In the following videos, Sergey Volchenkov will address other questions posed by clients of the Tolerance Agency. How can I bring my relatives to Turkey if I have a residence permit? What are the current residence permit programs for investors? Which residence permits allow you to work, and how can you obtain a work visa? What does a residence permit offer to motorists? And many other questions will be addressed in this series. You can add your question in the comments below this video, and don't hesitate to contact Tolerance Homes using these contacts. Leave your requests. Tolerance Homes has been working for almost 25 years and knows practically everything about life, real estate, and moving to Turkey.